Hmm. Can you see in the screen?
हाँ यस प्रभु जी।
क्या देख रहे हो?
नेक्टर और गोविंद लीला आ गया।
हो गया ना?
हाँ हाँ आ गया।
तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये हा देवी काकुबर गदगदाय वाचा याचे निपट्य भुवि दंडवद उद्ध उद्धतार्थी अस्य प्रसादमुभस्य जनस्य कृत्वा गंधर्विके निजगणे गणना विदेहि अंगश्यामलीला छत्राभीर अभितो मंडी केंद्राव केन्दिवारं जाड्यं जागूढरचितां विद्धतं पताम्बरश्रिया वृन्दारण्यनिवासिनं हृदि लसत् गामाभिरामोदरं राधास्कन्दनिवेशितोज्ज्वलभुजं ध्यायेयं दामोदरं भक्त्या विहीनापराधलक्ष्य क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः वैराग्ययुगभक्तिरसं प्रतीयनेर उपायनं माम अनभिपशुम् अन्नं कृपा बुद्धि यह पर दुखा दुखी सनातनं तं प्रभुम् आश्रयामि। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं यं प्रागुदशमनुपेतनुपेतकृत्यम् अनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातव आजुरावा पुत्रेति तन्मयतया करयो विदेशु तत्सर्वभूतहृदयं मनुमीयन्नतोऽस्मिन् तवैवास्मि नाजीवामि त्वया विना इति विजयराधिकेतुं नाच मां चरणान्तिकं श्याम सुंदर सुगंध शेखर स्मरहास्य मुरली मनोहर राधिका रसिक माम कृपा निधे सदेवी चरणन किंकिरम गुरु। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
तो खुशी माता जी, बड़ा अच्छा लगा आपको देख के आज। ठीक है, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो टुडे इज अ disappearance day of Lochan Das Thakur. So as I told you, we should not have this, that static way of, reading it. उठाए किताब को पढ़ना शुरू कर दिया. Initially, when we started, we were discussing, about the acharyas. We were also chanting, Vaishnava bhajan. Today, I'm going to sing a very amazing Vaishnava bhajan. which is like my favorite bhajan, which is written by Lochan Das Thakur. So Lochan Das Thakur was one of the acharyas in our line, and he is one of the very intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a disciple of Narhari Sarkar. Narhari Sarkar has expressed his Gaur Nagari Bhav, in which he has presented Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a loving lover, in Nadia, but that was not true. So maybe we don't accept him completely. Narhari Sarkar, we accept him as an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but his book we don't accept. That was Chaitanya Mangal, and I think it's also mentioned somewhere. I'm not sure. I think Chaitanya Bhagwat, the name of Chaitanya Bhagwat was Chaitanya Mangal before, you know. So he has written very beautiful bhajan, which you can see on the screen. Can you see on the screen? No.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. So we are going to maybe start with like these are the bhajan which he has written, and this particular bhajan is my favorite bhajan. So we'll chant this mantra, this bhajan. You can also sing, when you can keep yourself mute, because none of us is very, what do you call, surila. Well, at least मैं तो सुरीला बिल्कुल भी नहीं हूँ. But this is very important that we should actually have this particular prayer. We should know this prayer. This is very important. Nitai, I need a small help. Can you check if this goes there inside there in that? Nitai guna mani amar. Nitai guna mani. Nitai guna mani amar. Nitai guna mani. Aniya premera vanya. Bhasha ilo avani. Aniya premera vanya. Bhasha ilo avani. Premer vanya loilo nitai. Aila God de she. Premer vanya loilo nitai. Aila God de she. Dubilo bhakat gana. Dina hina bhashe. Dubilo bhakat gana. Dina hina bhashe. Dina hina patit pamar. Nahi bache. Dina hina patit pamar. Nahi bache. Bharmar durlabh prema. सब करे जाछे. ब्रह्मार दुर्लभ प्रेमा. सब करे जाछे. अबध करुणा सिंधु. निताई काटिया मुहा. Abad Karuna Sindhu. You can't see the screen? Nitai Katiyamu ঘরে ঘরে ভুলে প্রেমা আমি আর ঘরে ঘরে ভুলে প্রেমা আমি আর লোচন বলে মোর নিতাই जेवाना भजी लो लोचन बोले मोरो निताई जेवाना भजी लो हो जानिया सुनिया से आत्मघाती होइलो জানিয়া শুনিয়া সেই আত্মঘাতী হইল নিতাই গুণ মানি আমার নিতাই গুণ মানি আনিয়া প্রেমের আবন্যা Bashailo Avani. My Lord Nityananda, jewel of all virtue, my Lord Nityananda, the jewel of all virtues, has brought the flood of ecstatic love of God that has drawn the entire world, bringing this overwhelming deluge of prema. When he returned to Bengal from Jagannath Puri on Lord Chaitanya's order, Nitai has inundated the assembly of devotees. The fallen non-devotees did not drown, however, not remaining floating on the ecstatic ocean. However, but remain floating on the ecstatic ocean. Lord Nityananda freely offered his exalted prema, which is difficult for Lord Brahma to attain. Even the fallen and the wretched soul who did not desire it. So there's like when it's rain, it doesn't matter where it's raining. It rains in the midst of the ocean also, and it's rain equally on the river. It rains equally on the barren land. The ocean of mercy has formerly been sealed tight, but the tide cut a channel in its boundary to allow the great flooding waves of nectarian prema to splash from house to house. लोचन कह रहा है लोचन दास ठाकुर कह रहे हैं whoever has not worshipped my Nitai or taken advantage of this excellent opportunity offered by him knowingly committed suicide. जानिया सुनिशिया से ही आत्मघाती हुई लो. ठीक है. So we are very fortunate that we have such acharyas, who are telling us all these things. So now let's come to Nectar of Govind, Lila Mithra. Can you see that on the screen now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Manmana Manmad Bhakto. Right? Previously we were talking about Manmana Bhav. ठीक है? Now he's saying Mad Bhakto. In the last chapter, we began explaining the best and the Sarva Guhyatama, most secret verse of Bhagavad Gita. ठीक है? Giving example, we explained that in Man Bhav, just as Krishna, just as Krishna gave this instruction to Arjuna on a battlefield, we are also in the midst of a battle. We are at war with the tendency of the mind, which is restless by nature. At this time in Kurukshetra, there was a war going on between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Just as this Mana Bhav was difficult for Arjuna then, it is also difficult for us now. Pandavas' army consisted of 7 military phalanxes, yani Ashohinis, Akshonis, and Kauravas' army consisted of 11. Opposite us, also in an army of 11 Akshohinis, and we are alone. Krishna was the driver of Arjuna's chariot, but our driver is bad intelligence, deformed intelligence. Arjuna had a chariot given by him by the demigod Agni that could not be burned or destroyed. But what kind of chariot do we have? Only the material body, which is subject to disease and death. Arjuna had Gandiv, vow for fighting. But what do we have? We have no help. Such is our position of weakness. Who was sitting on the flag of his chariot? Hanuman. Arjuna had all kinds of help, but once his mind became disturbed and he said, My Lord, I am not able to do this man mana bhav. ठीक है? The body is our chariot, the soul is our passenger, and the mind is our charioteer. What is the nature of the mind? Restless, it gives us no help at all. By the direction, we will fall down or stray from the path. At first, with the hand folded together, Arjuna said, Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapanna. In all ways, I am now surrendered unto you. As you instruct me, I will do. He heard all of Krishna's instruction and then said, I am unable to do this manmanabhav. How will I absorb my mind in this way? It's not possible. Opposite us are Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Duryodhan, and Dushasan. So many great Maharathis are assembled together to fight against us. Opposite us also are 6 Maharathis. Which are they? The urges to speech, the urges of tongue, stomach, genitals, uncontrolled mind and anger. क्या है ये श्लोक याद है? वाचो वेगम मनसा क्रोध वेगम जीवा वेगम उदर
Vegam.
These vegas are already like disturbing us. We cannot conquer even one of these Maharathis. Even such exalted personalities as Vishwamitra and Narad were affected by one of these Maharathis, the sexual urge. In the Ramayana, it is described that once Narad desired to marry a princess, but he was defeated at a marriage ceremony, Swayamvara. Then Vishnu gave him the face of, because Vishnu gave him the face of monkey. Beyond these Maharathis, there are so many kinds of anarthas, impediments we must contend with. Therefore, Krishna said, Mad Bhakto, become my devotee. Arjuna considered and said, saying one who will become a devotee is easy, but to actually do is very difficult. To become a devotee, one thing is especially necessary. Anya vilashita shunyam. Bolo.
Anya vilashita shunyam.
Jnana karmanu navritam.
Jnana karma.
Karmanu narutam.
Anukulena Krishnanu.
Shilam bhakti uttama.
Very good. Shilanam bhakti uttama. One should not have any type of material desire. For attaining bhakti, for attaining the service of Krishna or a real devotee, there cannot be a scent of any other desire in the heart. What to speak of the desire itself? There cannot be even a scent of it. There are to be no tendencies of jnana, the cultivation of knowledge directed towards impersonal liberation, or karma, fruitive activities. Without karma, meaning here activity in the general sense, no man can live. He must at least do some karma. Even at the time of sleeping, we are doing some karma. What are we doing? Breathing, changing position, dreaming. These are all karmas. So it is unavoidable. Without doing some form of karma, we cannot live for even one moment. Anyone who says that he is living entirely without karma is a pretender. We must do some karma. We must eat, and to save ourselves from the cold, we must wear clothing. But how will we escape from the karma? Covering up bhakti. This action will not cover bhakti. When eating, don't forget Bhagwan. Eat for Bhagwan, for his service. In other present condition, we also cannot live without jnana. Knowledge is also necessary. Without knowledge, we will not even know where to place our feet. while walking and we will fail, will fall. So, but you see how these things can cover bhakti. In the name of helping others, Bharat Maharaj made a mistake and fell down from spiritual life. He had been practicing bhakti and attained a very high stage, up to the bhav. He saved the baby deer from the mouth of the tiger and from drowning in the stream, and afterward he maintained it by feeding it milk, thinking what he was thinking? He benefiting another living entity. He was a controller, or he was a caretaker, or he was a savior of that particular deer. But because of this activity, he had to take another 3 births. Therefore, another jnana and karma, therefore, although jnana and karma will remain, they must be kept in a position of servitude to bhakti. Yani कि कर्म और ज्ञान should be the servants of bhakti. Point noted. Point to be noted. क्या नाम है तेरा? कमल, लिख.
Yes, Swami.
है ना? Point to be noted. Very important. Otherwise, our bhakti will become covered. So, how will we engage our jnana and karma? By going to the market and bringing good quality fruits and vegetables for the service of the deities. The deities will accept the offering and give prasad to everyone. By this, bhakti will not be covered. Instead, it will increase. On the other hand, we may bring all first-class ingredients like the best carrot, pure cow ghee, coconut, make very beautiful halwa, and then add silver topping into it. But if it is for our own enjoyment, then everything is spoiled. This action will cover our bhakti. So we must be careful to this. Like Chanditai Prabhu or Sukhad Prabhu brought, he brought क्या नाम है, mixed herbs because he wants to make pasta at home after the class. So it should be for Krishna, right? So if we have made this preparation thinking, I have made this, I brought this ingredient, I collected the necessary funds and I will enjoy it and afterwards offer to Bhagwan, then that is somewhat all right, but it is not completely correct. Do not offer it only after preparing it, but rather from the very beginning, it should be offered to Bhagwan. Hey, Animal, Kamal, quick question. Yes. When I said we are preparing we are washing the fruits or vegetables, what do we call?
Washing the fruits and vegetables. धोना, उसको साफ करना बताते हैं इसको.
तो क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग?
उसको अमनिया बोलते हैं.
Amaniya, very good. तू मेरा best student है, शाबाश. You know what is Amaniya, Khushi?
No, Prabhuji.
Preparing bhoga for the Lord is actually Amaniya. So when we say that cutting the vegetables, it is a wrong statement. We say सब्जियों को अमनिया कर रहा हूं मैं. That's a right statement. हमें ठाकुर जी के फलों को अमनिया करना है, सब्जियों को भी अमनिया करना है, and then we are going to offer to the Lord.
But I never heard this before.
I know.
You actually telling me this.
Yeah, that's the reason you are here, right?
Yes.
Yagyarthat karmano anyatra. So your action should be a sacrifice for Bhagwan. This is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you eat or drink should be for sacrifice. Yat karoshi yat nyasi yat jihosi tadasi yat tat tapasyasi konteya tat kurushva mad arpadam. Whatever you eat, if you prepare food, if you perform a sacrifice, if you are keeping a garden, all should be for offering to the deity. In general, the spiritually inclined people of this world are going to take this, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Gaudiya Acharyas have taught, don't do things in this way. Beware, you will be trapped. Rather, we should first offer your very self to the deity. I'm yours. That's the reason what we do. We do what? Bhuta Shuddhi. Right? Before we start deity worship, what we say? I'm by nature the eternal servant of Krishna. But because of my bad fortune, I have been inimical towards him from time immemorial. Thus, I have identified myself with this body, continuously wandered into the cycle of birth and death, suffering the burning threefold miseries. Now, as a result of some unimaginable good fortune, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, Srila Gurudev's mercy, or our Vaishnava Acharya's mercy, enable me to know that I'm Krishna's eternal servant, infinite in spiritual being, completely apart from this gross and subtle body. So I have obtained the good fortune to serve his lotus feet and follow in his footsteps. I have obtained the good fortune to serve Shri Gaunitai, Krishna Balram, Radhesham, and Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Naham Vipro Racharpati, Naham Vipro Shudro, Naham Van Chakravarti Novasita Yatarva, Kintu Pada Nikhil Paramananda Pura Vidabdel, Gopil Bhatur Padkamlior, Dasa Dasanu, Dasa. So that's the reason, first we have to do the Bhuta Shuddhi, means we are actually offering ourselves to the Lord. Initially, when I used to go to dressing the deities of Radhesham, I was very, very, humble. And I was not doing much. I was just, putting the small things on the Lord, not doing much actually. Slowly, Prabhuji said, you do this also. You do up to that level. Then you do up to that level. So then, I started, doing the dressing of the deities. So one day I posted on Facebook. My purpose behind posting the deity picture was simple, that I had to preserve that particular dressing of mine. What I do, whenever I'm with Prabhuji, whatever dresses, he's teaching me all the time, Mukundra Prabhu, like how to dress the deities. So when I was dressing the deity, I always want to know what I've learned today. And I don't want to miss out in the next class, like next time. So I will not make any mistake next time. I posted. Somebody went to Prabhuji and, maybe just to provoke him. Prabhuji, Raghunath Prabhu is posting his picture, and the picture of deities all over the internet to claim that he has dressed the deities. And I don't know what Prabhuji, when I went to Prabhuji, Prabhuji said, you need to be humble. Well, yes. So did you post the picture? Whenever I posted the picture just to preserve the picture. Then he understood, because he knows me since last 12 years. He doesn't have to judge me, But he said, but you know what? Still, you are right now very new, and that's why you're very humble. Because that humility is only for timing. So what I want from today onwards, whenever you enter inside the altar, after the Achman and chanting Tad Vishnu Paramapadam, you pay obeisances before entering inside the altar. And then I want you to recite the whole Bhuta Shuddhi when you are in the altar. So it's a secret. When I enter inside the altar, I go to first Gaunitai. And going to Gaunitai, from there I can see Krishna Balram and Radhesham. So I stand at the corner of Gaunitai and then I chant the whole of Bhuta Shuddhi. Then I touch the deities and I take their blessings, before starting. It is very important for us to have actually that understanding that whatever we are doing, we have to have proper consciousness, right? So whenever we are doing any activity which is spiritual activity, like, yagya and all. So when I'm doing yagyas, so sometimes I've seen that if your consciousness is not intact, you will see that, you're not able to chant mantras properly. Your mind is not there. You're getting disturbed with things around you, or surroundings and everything. So in that case, the best way to do is that we should chant Bhuta Shuddhi. When we chant Bhuta Shuddhi, we are actually in keeping our, we are fixing our consciousness in the service of the Lord. So 10 minutes will remain. So when the meeting will end, we'll restart again. And you remind me that I have to start YouTube live video again. Huh? Yeah, come on. So I'm yours. Then whatever we eat or do will automatically be for Bhagwan. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Aktu Nivedanam Iti Pumsa Pita Vishnu Bhaktis Chena Nava Lakshana. ठीक है? Create Lagati Adha Tan Manye Aditam Uttamam. Hearing, chanting about Krishna, remembering him, and then serving his feet, worshipping him, praying to him, becoming his servant, becoming his dear friend, and fully surrendering to him. This is ninefold bhakti. Performing these 9 types of devotion is the utmost knowledge. Even if all of these are performed, but the results are offered to Bhagwan afterwards, then it is devotion mixed with personal desire. Yani ye karma mishra bhakti, not pure bhakti. Right? The people of this world generally don't know this. They just think that they should offer things to him. But pure devotee understand the shortcoming in this. Therefore, we should first offer our very self, not just the result of our activities. Those who follow the path of karma offer that. It is like a small boy who is eating while sitting in the lap of his father. When the boy sees something, he just puts it into his mouth, and he puts food into the mouth of his father also, right? And his father is not offended. His father is pleased. Why? The boy is fully dependent on him. He may even punish the boy, but the boy would never leave him. In order to develop a relationship like this with Bhagwan, we first offer everything to our Guru. Because in our present condition, he is to be seen as Bhagwan. When we develop a direct relationship with Bhagwan, then there will be no necessity of formal offering. Got it? The point? Getting the point here? इसको note कर point को. When we develop a direct relationship with Bhagwan, then there will be no necessity of formal offerings. Gopis are eating and decorating themselves, but they do not make any formal offering or perform puja to Krishna. They are using many good quality things in the course of dressing and decorating themselves and applying their ornaments. But who is it for? All for. Whatever they do is for the pleasure of Krishna. As soon as something comes to them, it is automatically for Krishna. In this way, we should do everything exclusively for the pleasure of Krishna. Such bhakti is difficult to attain, and it requires that we have some merit from our previous lives. And if in this birth, by the mercy of Bhagwan and the Vaishnavas, we have been graced with the company of pure Vaishnavas, then pure bhakti can come. The story of Bilva Mangal Thakur nicely illustrates this point. Although he had some merit from his previous lives, some specific desires for enjoyment still remain in his heart. He kept company with the prostitute Chintamani, who after some time became exclusively interested in Krishna, therefore rejected Bilva Mangal Thakur. After this, he crossed the river to her place, using a dead body for floating, and used a snake to climb, to the window, and she rebuked him. And after that, he became renounced. And now, having a great desire to meet Krishna, he left his home and began heading towards Vrindavan. Perhaps 5 days later, he stopped at a well to get some water, where he saw a young girl who gave him some water to drink. But he forgot about drinking the water and began gazing at her. And he followed her home. And there a Brahman came to the door and thinking, why has this Mahatma came? So Bilva Mangal asked, who is this girl that lives here? Brahman said, she is my wife. Bilva said, call her. I want to speak with her little. So he called her, and then she came. Bilva asked, can you please give me both of your hairpins? And Brahman and his wife thought he is traveling mendicant, so perhaps he has a thorn or splinter in his skin. Maybe that's what he wants. So they gave him the hairpin. Bilva Mangal did have a thorn he wanted to remove, but that thorn was in his heart. He was unable to reach it. Therefore, he took the hairpin and plugged his eyes, plugged out his eyes. And there is a saying in Hindi that means if there is no bamboo, there would not be flute. Na rahega baas, na bajegi bansuri, right? So these eyes can be there, the root cause of our attachment to the world. in so far as the form of a woman attracts a man, the form of a man attracts a woman, and for each other, they are personification of Maya, illusion. So the woman is not a Maya. For women, the man is Maya. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures have warned us to be very careful about this. Now, blind Bilva Mangal went on his way. He was in such a mood of deep separation from Krishna that now all of his senses were centered on Bhagwan. On the way, there were many obstacles such as mud holes and streams, but he was resolved. He was resolved in his determination and deeply meditated on Krishna as he was going towards Vrindavan. Yeah. Then one day a young boy came to him and said in a sweet voice, Baba, where are you going? He said, my son, I'm going to Vrindavan. Where are you going? I'm also going to Vrindavan. I make my living there. Vrindavan, then come with me and hold my walking stick. They went together and wandering, they arrived in Vrindavan. On the way, that happened. What happened? Inside his heart, Bilva Mangal experienced so many realizations about Krishna that were just like nectar. This is called sadhana. Bilva Mangal was a sadhak. What he described in this previous chapter concerned the gopis was the stage of perfection. As Ganga emerged from the Himalaya and flows naturally towards the sea without any special efforts. In the same way, the tendency of the gopis' heart flows in direction of Krishna's lotus feet without ever stopping. This is the level of perfection. But here we are discussing sadhana. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and the other scriptures are discussing sadhana. Okay? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and the scriptures declare that Bilva Mangal was a sadhak. But then, what are we? We are not even sadhakas. Being only on the first step of Vedic Bhakti, we will be arrogant enough to call ourselves real sadhaka. Shravan, Kirtan, Vishnu Smaran, Pad, Shivanam, Varshanam, Vandam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedam. There are two kinds of these 3-9 devotions activities. One is Vedic Bhakti and the other one is Raganuga Bhakti. So we are going to discuss after stopping this meeting and we'll restart the meeting, okay, in 2 minutes.